Yasser Abu Shabab, the 31-year-old commander of the Israeli-backed Popular Forces militia, was shot and killed on December 4, 2025 in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. According to his faction, Abu Shabab was fatally wounded while attempting to mediate a dispute between local families, suggesting the shooting resulted from internal clan conflicts rather than direct Hamas action.
The death of Yasser Abu Shabab marks the end of a dark chapter, one that did not reflect our tribe's history and principles. The Tarabin tribe stands with the Palestinian resistance in all its factions. It refuses to let our tribe's name or members be exploited to form militias that work for the benefit of the occupation.
This is what Gaza's Tarabin tribe said in a statement following his death. Israeli officials attempted to evacuate Abu Shabab to Soroka Hospital in southern Israel, but he died of his wounds before arrival. Abu Shabab's death marks a major setback for Israel's post-war Gaza strategy and exposes the vulnerability of Palestinians chosen by Israel to serve as collaborators and alternatives to Hamas rule. His killing occurred less than a month after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly acknowledged in June 2025 that Israel had armed anti-Hamas clans and militias in Gaza, a controversial admission that contradicted Israel's previous denials. Abu Shabab led the Popular Forces, the largest and most organized of several Israeli-backed Palestinian militias operating in Gaza since the October 7th conflict. Netanyahu justified the arming of these groups, stating, "What's wrong with that? It's beneficial and helps save the lives of Israeli Defense Forces soldiers."
מה ליברמן הדליף? מה הוא הדליף ופרסם? שבעצת גורמי הביטחון אנחנו הפעלנו חמולות בעזה שמתנגדות לחמאס. מה רע בזה? זה רק טוב. רק מציל חיים של חיילי צה"ל.
According to multiple Israeli sources, Abu Shabab's faction received weapons, including AK-47 rifles, from the Israel Defense Forces. Abu Shabab's group claimed to control approximately 3,000 individuals in the Rafah area, with fewer than half being armed combatants. However, Abu Shabab's faction denied receiving direct Israeli backing, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. In May 2025, Abu Shabab's fighters were documented securing humanitarian aid convoys from the Kerem Shalom crossing. UN officials accused Abu Shabab's group of looting humanitarian trucks and stealing supplies intended for Gaza's civilian population. Hamas labeled Abu Shabab a traitor and collaborator, ordering its fighters to kill or capture him. Abu Shabab's death exposes Israel's broader strategy to arm multiple Palestinian factions across Gaza as alternatives to Hamas governance. Beyond the Popular Forces, Israel has backed several other armed militias, including groups led by commanders such as Ashraf al-Mansi in Gaza and Hossama al-Astal east of Khan Yunis, each commanding a few hundred fighters. These militias operate primarily in Israeli-controlled territories of southern Gaza, conducting raids into Hamas-dominated areas before retreating to Israeli protection. Israeli officials argued that these groups were necessary to secure areas of Gaza and allow Israeli forces to focus on other operations. Former Shin Bet official Shalom Ben Hanan stated,
They conduct military operations as if they were a formal military unit. If they weren't present to handle these tasks, our own forces would have to.
However, critics, including Israeli opposition politicians, argued that arming these groups was equivalent to creating ISIS in Gaza. Abu Shabab's death signals a critical failure in Israel's post-war governance strategy for Gaza. Israel had planned to use Abu Shabab's Popular Forces, along with other Israeli-backed militias, as a transitional administration to govern southern Gaza following the October ceasefire agreement, facilitating reconstruction and disarming Hamas. However, with Abu Shabab dead, and dozens of his fighters reportedly surrendering to Hamas after his assassination, Israel's vision of Palestinian collaborators governing Gaza has become untenable. Hamas, in statements issued after Abu Shabab's killing, celebrated his death as the inevitable fate of every traitor and called on other Israeli-backed militia members to surrender before facing a similar end. The killing also undermines Trump's Gaza peace plan, which envisions a multinational transitional authority governing the enclave alongside local Palestinian security forces.